Hello there, this is Ron Wills coming back at you with yet another video. A shortage of decent women. Yeah, I know some women gonna get hot on this one. Oh well, get over it. We've been hearing it for years. Black men been hearing it for about 40 years and stuff, and now there have been a lot of articles talking to where white women are complaining about a shortage of educated men. They tend to focus, black women will just say men, period. But, white women, they'll talk about a shortage of educated men, But here's the thing. In the eyes of many men, there's a shortage of decent women. Now, I know, let's be clear. There's plenty of men that say there's an abundance. But those men who say that are usually not even the status men, the guys with money and, that high status and stuff. Even though they don't feel like there's an abundance. Those are the main ones who feel like there's a shortage anyway. But, the only ones who feel like there's an abundance are those good bar types, and the type of good bars are the dirty dick Rodneys, as the esteemed Minister Jap would call them. Yeah, it ain't a shortage for them because they throwing that shit in anything that moves, sometimes literally, but we won't go there. But other than that, for dudes who just really, they ain't on that player lifestyle thing, and they definitely ain't good boys or something like that, or definitely not dirty dick Rodneys. Dudes who actually, despite me doing a video on many men that really wanted to get married, many men still do want to get married. They still want a good woman, a decent woman. But in their eyes, there's a shortage of decent women. See, one thing, and this is something I discovered years ago, and I mentioned this before in a video, like the very first article that I wrote that went viral back before social media was big and people were just passing it around like on message boards and stuff like that, was something I wrote. Was called Successful Black Men and a Shortage of Good Black Women, right? And I mean, many women were mad. Now, there were some sisters who read the article, and they were like, oh, okay, we get it. And I tended to notice by how they present themselves and what they talked about they were doing. They were like the more higher class women. And they understood. They ain't argue with it. Because, they were getting theirs. Let's just be real. They were getting theirs. But most women got hot. See, the thing is, women, by virtue of having a vagina, and y'all can't argue with me on this, women tend to think all women are good. Even when they know better. They feel like no matter what the woman look like, no matter what her disposition, no matter how physically unappealing she is, they feel like some man should just fall all over themselves to be with her. And we know this because women lie to their friends. They'll tell their friends to their face, oh, you beautiful, girl. Knowing when they get behind closed doors or with like they even better friends, they'll be like, man, that bitch ugly. And this coming from the women. Because quiet as it's kept, women, they judge each other way more than men could possibly judge them. But I don't want to get too far off on a tangent. This whole thing with a man thinking there's just a shortage of decent women. Because you think about it, right? And this ain't even talking about a status man, some dude making $1 million, got some notoriety or anything. Like, they ain't their own class, really. And they're going to be picky. But if you think about the average dude out here, be he blue collar, white collar, whatever. But he's making enough money. He's making enough money to, own a decent vehicle, live in a decent either apartment, condo, or house. He got something going on. He do something in the community. He keep himself in decent shape. For logical women, he's a catch, right? He's a catch. But when he looks out into the dating landscape, this is what he sees. See, women looking at each other and think, oh, well, we should just take them regardless. But no. Especially for guys who, they kind of like their dicks enough not to just stick it in anything. They're going to be a little picky. And when you think about what they seeing out here. Now, first of all, if you got a man and he doesn't have children, which, even though this applies to everyone, regardless of race, in the black community, you got about 40% of, adult age men out there who don't have children. So you got, that's a significant number. That's a significant number who don't have children. So, if a man works hard, he got his, he got his own means, he got a decent living, all of that stuff. It's logical for him to get a woman who don't have children so he can build. But then what does he go out here and say? One, he sees many women with children. And so then he has to decide, even if he likes her, he gotta make a serious decision. And that decision is, okay, does he want to be bothered with some kids who might disrespect him? A woman who might really should put her kids in front of that man. Seriously. She should put the kids in front of the man, so he got to deal with that being secondary to them. Then he got to deal with some baby daddies who come around, and let's be real, with men. And men, we know it. Once we hit something, we always think we can go back. So you got baby daddy going around thinking he might can get a quick blowjob or something. So a man got to deal with it. So many smart men say, hold up, she got kids, I don't want to deal with it. And just to be clear, I'll never tell a man he should. Because before I had sons, I would not deal with a woman with children. Or if I did, it'd be just some quick sex. Now I'm more open to it because now I'm bringing the same thing. But in the case of a man who doesn't have children, it's really, it's okay for him to say, look, I don't want a woman with children. Fair exchange is no robbery. He's not bringing children into the equation. So it's fair for him to say she can. But see, many men seeing, they meeting a woman, they chilling with her. Then all of a sudden she's like, well, I got to find a babysitter. And then some men got to think, oh, damn. Well, she still got a fat ass. Maybe I can have sex with her a couple times. That's what many go and think. And then some will, and you got some guys out there, like I said, they ain't trying to be players or dirty dick Rodney, so they be like, you know what, I can't even mess with them. Like I said, fair exchange is no robbery. But then there's some other stuff too. You got many women out here, they just physically unappealing to many men. Let's just be real. Men are going to have their preference. I don't care how thirsty even some thirsty men got some preference. So he's going to run into, the average man is going to run into some women he just ain't attracted to. You cannot bribe your dick. I know some women will be like, it's like, no. Because the same woman, how many women out there doing the same thing? Because I don't want to hear it from women on that one. Women doing the same thing. Now, I would tell, the most I would say to the guy is, well, investigate, see what else she bringing to the table. But sometimes even when a man does that, there's still some other stuff going on, clash of personalities, all of that, and then something else to think about too. Now, even if the man isn't somebody who's making 6 figures, balling out of control, if he's still a man, and say he making half of that, right? But the way he's at his environment, he's meeting a bunch of women on state assistance or federal assistance, or getting food stamps or some Section 8 types. I mean, one person I would tell him he need to probably change his environment. But on the reality, while he's there, this is what he got to deal with. So, but he has the mindset, hey, I want to move up. I want to do something with my life. But then he got to find a woman who wants to roll with that. See, let me tell you something now. And this kind of goes in. This is from being entrepreneurial. It's hard finding a woman for a man who's trying to build a business to find a woman who's really going to climb with him. The only exception is if she's trying to do some stuff herself. Now, see, that woman might be more inclined to be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's work together. But then how many women are truly entrepreneurial? You know? Or how many women are, even if neither one's entrepreneurial, but the guy is like, he's still trying to build some stuff. Sometimes, you know, a guy don't have to be like, you know, have some business or something to build up. Sometimes, depending on the job, dude could really build up some stuff. But what if he got the woman who doesn't want to build up? And trust me, I've seen that. I've seen some men's lives destroyed because they got with some women who, you know, the man trying to do something, the woman didn't. She want to stay stuck in the old neighborhood or around the same trifling friends. And see, a man got to deal with that. So it's like, you know, sensible men are picky. And then by being picky, they're going to say, well, hold up. There ain't an abundance of women out here. You know, the man's protecting their dick. They're protecting their assets. There ain't a lot of women out there for that type of guy. All of a sudden, it's fewer and fewer. You know, because, you know, the man wants somebody he trying to build with. Because contrary to popular belief, many men are trying to build. It's a man's nature to expand his territory, to expand his boundaries. You know, when you have a group of men, a critical mass of men who get together and decide they want to expand their boundaries, that's what created empires in history. And that's what caused men to go out and conquer other men's boundaries and stuff. Because that's a man's nature. So even if he has a little bit, he's trying to expand. So, and he needs that type of woman who's going to roll with him. And I would say many men, and this is a sincere thing, many men just say, hey, you know what? There's a shortage of decent women. And y'all notice, I ain't focused on the physical attractiveness piece. I mean, I mentioned it. But it's deeper than that for a man who has some sense. He's looking, because men will say too, and this is especially for any women who might want to take issue with what I'm saying. Men who are sensible will always say, hey, you know what? Or to quote Rom, yeah, she got to have a fat ass, but her mind got to be right too. It's usually like that. Now, the dumb ones, hey, they just going to say she just got to have a fat ass. But the smart ones going to say, hey, she need to have a fat ass and her mind right. And the really smart ones will say, well, it don't have to be that fat, but her mind got to be right. They going to really emphasize the mind. And in the eyes of many men out there, there's a shortage of those women. Because you know what? Just like women will say all the good ones are either married, in jail, or dead, men could say, hey, all the good ones are either married, have a boyfriend, or dead. So, you know, and seriously, this is a real thing. And, you know, for the ladies, don't get mad. Don't get mad. This is how it is. Like I said, if y'all want to say there's a shortage of men, hey, well, we have the same argument. Fair exchange is no robbery. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.